All right, y'all, we back again. Got a week off, got some time. So, I'm going to be on and off throughout this week. I'm just chilling. So, yeah, I got some time today and, the rest of the week. So, leading up to fight night, I'm going to be talking about some different things about this current fight coming up this Friday and other fights, of course. So, yeah, we back again, man. All right, got about 80 y'all in here. I'm on a little bit later. I know I'm usually on at 7. No, actually, I've been coming on sometime at 11 o'clock the past couple weeks too, right? If the mood strikes me, I just jump on. But yeah, tonight, 8:30 is kind of early again. It's almost back to my regular schedule here. But yeah, man, let's talk about Taila Santos a little bit, man. Let's just kind of go into what her situation is. Because the more and more I just kind of read into it, I keep hearing sources saying like she still could have taken the fight. Um, Seeing as it didn't have anything to do with her visa, it was said that she chose to withdraw from the fight after, both her cornermen had been denied visas. They both been denied visas multiple times. And one of them was her husband, as well. So with him out, it kind of makes her feel like, oh, she has to pull out of the fight, right? But nowhere did it say that because they pulled out that she had to. Because I've seen some fighters they can't have their corner with them. They'll continue on in spirit. They'll say you can still do this. It doesn't matter. Um, Sometimes if a trainer gets sick or they get suspended, the fighter they'll go on without them, right? Because I know some people have gone on Twitter and Instagram saying it's just an excuse and saying with that choice that she made, the UFC is not going to be happy with her. Now that she's chose to pull out of the fight because not just a cornerman, but because one of her cornermen was her husband. Now people are saying, "Oh, why did she make that choice?" Maybe husbands or wives or whatever shouldn't be part of their corner if that's how they're going to, always kind of base their thinking off of. You know what I mean? So yeah, because I already knew her husband was in a corner too, but I didn't know in this specific situation that it was her husband because now they're saying it's two cornermen. I thought it was just one, but with both of them pulling out or both of them being denied visas, she's pulling out of the fight. So it was pretty much by choice. You know, it was pretty much by choice. And yeah, with that, she feels like that's what was needed. Um, I don't know though, man. Like, I think if something was on the line like this, yeah, you would want to have your corner there. But if this means something big, I think that you should just go straight for it, man. Like, I guess I'm thinking of the best fighters in the world sometimes. Like, situations don't always work out. Situations don't always work out the way you think they are. You got fighters fighting sometimes with broken fingers, not saying anything until the fight's over. Sometimes broken foot or, a compromised leg or something. But, they still show up. They still show up to win, you know? But in this situation, Tyler's kind of just like, you know what? I ain't got my corner with me. I'm not going to do this. But to me, I'm just kind of like, with the momentum that she's carrying, she should be able to go in there and perform. I mean, with all the talk she's been doing, with the momentum that she has, the ranking that she has, and everybody's saying that she's going to obliterate Aaron Blanchfield. Now that she doesn't choose a corner, now it's kind of like, oh, this is the wise decision, you know? That's what I'm saying. Keep the same energy, because the fighter's the one going in to perform, you know? When it comes down to it, they've studied her, they've got the skills, and if they feel like they can do this, then why not? Right? And this is a big opportunity. This is a big opportunity that leads to something even bigger. It's a main event. It's money, and let's don't act like she don't need this money now. Uh, with her certain situations, she gonna need every check she can get when it comes down to it. Let's be honest, right? So to me, I'm thinking that if you're on that level and you feel like, hey, we've done this before, we've been here before, we can do this. We can do this. And I'm just looking at Twitter too, because somebody said that. Hold on here. Yeah, somebody was saying Peter Yan didn't have his corner due to some visa issues for his rematch with Aljo, and he didn't complain. Yeah, and he lost too. But yeah, he did lose, but he didn't complain, right? He didn't, as far as I know. But yeah, he didn't win the fight. So, if they would have gave a better example of him winning the fight, maybe, we could ride with that. But yeah, I do understand. Look, your corner is there for you, but there's a lot of things riding on this thing. There's a lot of things riding on this. You got to go in there and rise to the occasion, because it's not always going to work out in your favor. You got to be prepared for it, in my opinion. That's just how I see it. Because that's why I'm asking this question, like, where does Taila go from here now? Like, with Taila missing out on this fight, is this really going to skip her ahead to a title shot? Does it skip her ahead to a title shot sometime this year? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because now, even though they put her at number 1, which is weird, like I said, they just kind of like switch these people around. Now she goes to 31. Number 1. I'm kind of like, huh? I'm like, how'd she get to number 1? Like, she hadn't made any moves as of recently. It's like they still want her in that position to fight for it. But now that she pulls out of this fight, the UFC kind of has a look at this like, wow, like, they got to look at this, it's kind of disappointing, because they were setting this fight up. They were trying to set this thing up to either make Santos look the part of a threat to Valentina again, or get her out the way and bring in some new blood in Blanchfield, right? So now, for Taila Santos, I'm just kind of thinking, like, where does she go? I think she's just going to have to get back in line now and still get another win. So with Aaron fighting Andrade, that's going to put her in a better place, actually, than Santos when it comes down to it. Because now that she's pulling out of this fight, you got Blanchfield and Andrade headlining. And that's what the whole purpose of this fight was, to advance Blanchfield, right? So now that she comes through, let's say she does come through against Andrade, then we have a new contender, possibly one that might, if she beats Andrade, she could get a title shot, but they might put her in there with Manon or something like that, just to let her get more experience, just a little bit, maybe. But if it all depends, like if she goes in there and destroys Andrade, they might just go ahead and say, forget Taila. We giving this shot to Blanchfield now at this point. So Santos is not really a good look for her right now. It's definitely not. So with her pulling out of this fight, we probably won't see her in a rematch with Valentina anytime this year, I don't think. Really, we might not, because it all depends on the schedule of Valentina. how that works out with Grasso, how it works out with Manon, with all these other flyweights coming into play now. So Manon trying to come back in August could be fighting Santos, or Santos could be coming back in April or May now, which is going to kind of throw off her schedule. So if she comes back in April or May, she could be fighting like Caitlin Chikagan or somebody. You know what I mean? That could be her situation. Or if Casey O'Neill beats Jennifer Maia, we might see Santos O'Neill. We don't know, right? But right now, with Santos pulling out of this fight, as far as where she goes, it's definitely not looking like a Valentina fight is in the cards for her. More so in Blanchfield. More so Blanchfield's going to have. I think she's going to have it. Pierre said, I think she's getting very bad advice from her husband or something. Yeah, her husband's one of her cornermen. 6, what's up? He said Santos is just fumbling the bag. Let me see. Gary says she isn't 36. She can afford to wait for perfect condition. It depends. It depends. Yeah, she's definitely not old, but I mean, like, if you're not fighting, it's not really going to prepare you for anything. You know what I mean? Like, you still need some fights to be prepared. Like, you still need some fights to be prepared. Like, the longer you wait, it's really not going to do you any good either. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to kill your momentum and so on. 6 said you would think that at this level, these type of problems will be taken care of with proper business management. That's what I'm saying. Like, this was a main event. They're headlining. They're headlining at this point. So, why wouldn't this be taken care of? Let me see. Closum said, so if Aaron's corner gets sick this week, do you think she should still fight this weekend? If she gets sick, like, how sick do you mean? Like, if she gets sick this weekend, do you think she should still fight this weekend? That's kind of that's a crazy question, but I mean, if she's sick, I don't think she should fight. I mean, no, I don't think she should fight if she's sick, man. Depending on how bad off she is, you know what I mean? Not just to please us. I mean, if she's sick, nah, like, not at all. Because I mean, you can't really. The difference is between a sickness and a visa. I mean, the visa situation should have been handled a little bit more punctual. But your sickness, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, Mandy Bone pulled out of a fight this past weekend. I can't really get mad at her for that, right? Because she was sick, right? Let me see. Claude said Santos ranked number 2, can't take a fight with an unproven number 10 with all this talking. Yeah, actually, she's number 1 now. Like I said, for whatever reason, I don't know, but they advanced her to number 1. Oh, Marcus, what's up? 6, that's who I blame her management. Tyla's not the one doing a visa paperwork for these people. But at this point, this ain't the first hiccup Tyler's been through, right? This ain't the first hiccup she's been through. So I think she should have part in it as well to make sure that stuff is done. Because it seems like it's been multiple times with her. You know what I mean? So you would think she would be on it with them. Because if they haven't got it, then it's kind of like, yo, what's up? Right? Like, what's going on here? Let me see. Let me make sure we doing this thing in a timely manner. The boss said they should make Manon versus Santos or Santos versus the winner of Arujo Ebos. Yeah, I would take that. Either that or the Jennifer Maia Casey O'Neill winner. Maybe like in April or May or something like that. 6 said if Andrade wins, who really wants to watch Valentina versus Andrade again? Not me, man. That's why I'm saying, like, going to my next topic. 6. Andrade, she good, man. I I love her fighting style. I do, man. But let's be real. Blanchfield needs to win this fight. Blanchfield needs to win this fight. Blanchfield getting a lot of hate. It seemed like, well, you know what? There's people hating on Blanchfield, and then there's people that are just telling reality that Andrade could go in there and destroy her. But let's be real. Blanchfield has the skills to win this fight. Um, I don't know if it'll come out that way though. I'm just saying, like, certain things that she does in there, she could rise to the occasion and she could level up and do, right? Um, and I'm not just saying that. I think she does have some skills in here to, neutralize in some ways. But I don't know, man. Like, I just hate it when people don't like when a fighter steps it up, but when they do step it up, they don't want to see him make it. You know what I mean? Like, keep the same energy. Like, Blanchfield is taking on a big test here. Like, if she go from one tough fighter to the next, she ain't pulling out. Hopefully she's not pulling out this weekend, but I like what Blanchfield is doing. And six, like, if Blanchfield can win this fight, I think it is better for the division. I mean, I like Andrade. I like her better at 115. I think her options and her opportunities are more so endless there. The fights make more sense. A third fight with Rose, a rematch with Wei Lee, a Carla Esparza fight, a Mackenzie Dern fight. So much more makes sense for Andrade there. But I know what she's doing. She's just answering the call. She's just making money here. So in a way, it is commending for her. For Andrade, it is commending, but it kind of holds up the division. And I thought that's what people didn't want. They don't want like certain fights holding up the division. So I want to see Blanchfield win. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see Blanchfield win because if Blanchfield wins, this will put the division in a better place. Okay. I think that Blanchfield, if she makes the right moves, doesn't spend a lot of time on the outside here, she could definitely get this fight to the ground and make it interesting. Okay. I think Blanchfield would be making a big mistake trying to strike round after round with Andrade. It's got to be level drops. It's got to be constant pressure, pressure met with pressure, but she's got to be unpredictable with her takedowns in this type of fight. Because if they fight at a striking range, Andrade, yes, she has the reach disadvantage, but she's got the power advantage. And her combinations to me have gotten better. Her combinations, so much more fluid. Like, she's gotten comfortable throwing her hands. Like, she's not throwing Hail Marys all the time anymore. She's actually mixing it up and still has enough power on her shots to do damage. So I think that, spending too much time on the outside on Andrade would tattoo her, So to me, it's got to be Blanchfield pressing, pressing the action, for a ground fight, getting the body lock from behind. And I'm going to say it again, watch the Valentina fight. Of course, he's not as strong as Valentina. Aaron's not, but I think when it comes down to her jiu-jitsu, if she can get some good takedowns, utilizing what wrestling she has, then the fight could definitely be more in her favor on the ground. It's not going to really be in her favor on the feet from a distance. Let me put it that way. In the pocket, no. Mid-range, no. I think that Aaron, her defense is still a little bit shaky. I know I said that numerous times, but that's just letting you know how I feel. And I'm not changing up. If you hear me repeat, that means I'm pretty much sticking to what I say on a lot of things. But of course, sometimes things change if a fighter changes, but Aaron still hasn't really became like this striking Viking. You know what I mean? Like this fighter that is slick on the feet, She's got some good head kicks, decent jab, but she's not really like this slick puncher, counter puncher. Her offense gets her takedowns. That's what she's mostly striking for, to get on the inside, maul some of these girls, get them down. So, early on, Aaron, she's going to want to fight with a solid jab. She's going to want to fight with that solid jab from a distance, but eventually, she's going to want to hang on for a second. Oh, had to cough last sneeze and that hurt. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, eventually Aaron's gonna want to get this thing to the ground. She's gonna want to get this fight to the ground because it's got to be about putting Andrade on her back to me. Andrade on her back is a safer place for Aaron than Andrade on the feet or against the cage. Okay. Aaron, just looking at her past resume here. And I know everybody's been looking at the past fights, everybody trying to find some piece of history to kind of base what this fight's gonna look like. But I think it just comes down to growth. I mean, Aaron's getting better as a fighter. I can say that. Like what she looked like 5 or 6 years ago, yeah, she might carry some things like that into this fight, but I think she's still gotten better. Even like with her striking, like, her striking has gotten better from the 2018 Aaron. That's again like 5 years ago. I think she has improved as a fighter. Not saying she's got the best at everything, but she is making improvements. She is getting better as a fighter. So I gotta look at that. Like, yeah, I can take a glance at some of these other fights from before. We can look at the Kay Hansen fight and we can look at the Tracy Cortez fight. But we still got to look at the Miranda Maverick fight. We got to look at the fights that she did win too. So I think it's just I think it's just a way we all gonna have to always. I think it's just a way that a lot of people are just saying, okay, I got to find something here to say, oh man, Aaron's gonna get destroyed. You know what I mean? Aaron's gonna get destroyed, but you never know. You never know. Picking on Andrade is definitely not a bad thing because she is who she is and she always fights with bad intentions. But I'm just looking at the IQ of Aaron too. I think that she can make this thing interesting. Well, I hope she makes it interesting. Let me put it that way. I hope she does. Just take the page out of the bullets, fight with her, and just stay on Andrade. Just stay on her. Just stay on her and constantly try to take her down. Because the more she tries to take Andrade down, who doesn't really have like the reach to throw a lot of elbows or get a lot of leverage to reverse like Taila would have, I think that, Aaron will always be in a better position from behind, so that's something that she's got to constantly hunt for, takedowns, keeping the fight down and just staying behind Andrade, because her being a little bit taller, not like this tall, long fighter, but even with the height similar to Valentina, she should be able to get that type of leverage and keep Andrade kind of off balance, like how Valentina did, tripping her up, taking her down. She got them short arms, so she really can't like reach up or reach down to get any leverage to get her off. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's possible, man. It's got to be this type of ground fight, and I'm not basing this off of Molly McCann or anything like that. I'm just basing this off of her pure jujitsu. You know what I mean? Like, and her style of wrestling, period. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have the best wrestling, but she still does have some type of wrestling that's effective. And she is strong. I mean, Miranda Maverick is a farm girl farm girl strong fighter, and she was able to take her down. You know, she was mauling her big sister and her, man. So, you know, we never know what Aaron can do in this type of fight, man. You know, the boss said Aaron has a good chance of getting takedowns, but I don't see her controlling Andrade. Andrade is so quick and explosive with her get ups. Aaron needs to wrestle constantly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be on her. That's her best bet, is to stay on her and find those openings. Like, if to stop Andrade's get ups, you know, she's gonna have to look for a heel hook, whatever, you know, like whatever she can get a hold of early. You know, you can't spin round after round running from Andrade or just, you know, looking to lay, because yeah, she has that type of strength. Gabby, what's up? Gabby said Aaron did struggle to take Aldridge down, but her coaches did give her good instructions and she did listen to him. Yeah, she did. She did. She did. Colton said Andrade is going to kill her. Why is the UFC doing this? It's a part of the game, man. I mean, if she turned down the fight, we call her a duck. But now that she's fighting her, it's like she's gonna get killed. I mean, what can we do, right? Like, we can't have it both ways, right? You know, we gotta have it somehow, right? How do you get better as a fighter, Colton? I'm just saying, like, Andrade, yeah, she could go in there and destroy her in one round. It's a possibility, but why wouldn't we give Blanchfield credit for, you know, going in there taking on this type of fight? You know, what what can the UFC do? You know, how else do you prove yourself as a fighter? You know, you have to fight these type of fights. Like, I'm not mad at this fight. Like I said in my video, I was smiling at this fight because it it's a necessity. Whether it had been a known fighter in France, um, or Aaron now fighting her, you know, I'm like, yo, that's what's up. You know, you get a name like Andrade on your resume and you can beat her. Yeah. You know, so that's what it is. I mean, you can't really blame the UFC here. I mean, in some ways, yeah, because it may be a little bit premature. Like, I would have moved her a little bit slower, but at some point this fight is gonna come. At some point this fight comes, you know what I mean? So it's just how it plays out, man. Let me see. Colton said Andrade is too strong for Aaron to even get her grappling off. It depends, man. Like I said, if she can get her back, you know, she can make it interesting, I think. You know, I think, yeah. Yeah, Chin said, I think Aaron's better at BJJ. Yeah, she's way better at BJJ than she is at wrestling. She knows how to. She's good at wrestling, but yeah, her BJJ is better. But to get her BJJ in full effect, you know, her wrestling has been effective. You know, she can get takedowns though. She's not like Mackenzie Dern. You know, she ain't like she ain't purely like Mackenzie Dern with it. You know what I mean? Like, she can still get you down to the ground and make it interesting. So yeah, uh, yeah. All right. James Brett said, let's cut to the chase. Who's beating on Grasso? Oh, we ain't James, we already know the answer to that. Yeah, we already know the answer to that. All right. Let me see. Sports Print says, what's up? She said Taila Santos just ruined any chance of a rematch. Pretty much. Yeah, I was just talking about that before you got here. That's what I was saying. Like, yeah, going back to Tyler real quick. Tyler, she pretty much ruined it. I mean, it seemed like most people disagree, but if both of her cornermen couldn't make it, I think the fight should still go on. I mean, you got somebody, you got to have some connection. You know, I that's how I see it. Like, in this situation, I think the show has to go on. I mean, Sports Princess, I don't know how you feel, but the visa issue, the visa hiccups, they were denied visas. You know, her husband and her cornerman. But to me, I'm like, if that's how it played out, okay, time to make the adjustment. time to make the adjustment. Fight still has to go on. You kind of set yourself up for this. So let's see how you can level up. That's how I see it. Because now you definitely gonna get a title shot. Now you put yourself back through a few more months to prolong it, and now you got to fight some other fighters now, right? Maybe if you got Blanchfield out of the way this weekend, you could have made the argument and said, okay, Valentina, go ahead and do what you do in March against Grasso. I'll be waiting for you. But now, nope, now she got to wait a couple more months till the spring or summer. And she's back to, I guess, square one or square two. But she's back. She in line. She gonna be in line. She's behind Grasso Manon now, I believe. And she could very much be behind Blanchfield. Yeah, you think about that? Taila Santos could be behind 3 people now. She could be. If the UFC is mad at her for what she did, she could be behind 3 people now. Okay, so she's behind Grasso. Grasso's fighting in March. Could be behind Manon, like I said, or unless they make Santos Manon fight. If Aaron beats Andrade, she could very much be behind her. So I don't, it's not looking good for Santos right now. Claude said, does Val Grasso go the distance? If it goes to the ground, I think Valentina finishes it. On the feet in like a chess match, I think it goes the distance. I don't see Valentina stopping Grasso with like one punch or anything like that. She hasn't done that to too many people, right? Except Jessica I. So I got to give Grasso's boxing some credit here. Like I don't see her getting knocked out cold by Valentina like Jessica I did. Grasso's boxing is still better than Jessica I. So I think if it stays on the feet from range, it'll be a respectful fight where Valentina picks Grasso apart. But if it goes on the inside, it's going to be a strong mauling fight. And, I think Bullet is going to show her how strong she is. And I'm curious to see how strong Grasso's got. So I'm leaving that door open. I don't know. I don't know how strong Grasso's going to be in this fight. Oh, Gabby, what's up? Gabby said Aldridge did take Aaron down, but she didn't stay long on the ground with her. Yeah, Aldridge has been working on her game too. She's been working on her wrestling game. So I think that was kind of a shocker to Aaron whenever she took her down at one time in the fight. I think she just kind of did it to do it. Let's see. Sports Princess said Taila Santos not only has to worry about paying her team, but she may need to find a new team if they decide not to work with her anymore. Yeah, she might as well come on over to America and get her a Team Alpha Male crew. Oh, but they ain't gonna stand for that over here, man. Like that's the thing. Like she come over here to America and get her some, American coaches. They'll sue her in a minute. So she better be prepared to do what she need to do. Strengthen them bonds back up, right some wrongs, break some bread with the right people now, or get that bad rep. And that's what sucks. Like Tyler's a talented fighter. I'd hate to see her go down because of bad business deals, man, and just sour relationships. That's the thing that would suck about seeing Taila Santos downfall because of money thing, money issues and greed, stuff like that. Gabby said round 1 is going to look like Aaron versus Aldridge. In the second, I think Aaron will adjust. Yeah, I think Aaron's going to show a little bit of respect the first round, but she'll try to get on the inside the best that she can. And if Aaron doesn't show up by round 2, I think it's safe to say Aldridge is probably going to get, I hate to say get buried. You know what I mean? But Andrade, man. Andrade might hurt her, man. If she stay on the outside too long, Andrade plants right hand. I don't know how Blanchfield's going to react to that. Because let's look at Blanchfield's resume right now, too, man. Like, as far as how big of a jump this is. So, in some ways, Colton, I do agree that it is kind of messed up the UFC did it. But I'm just kind of looking at it as like, if that's all that's available, then boom, they got to keep the show going. But yeah, if I go back and really like look at the way they should have moved Aaron, yeah, it's kind of messed up in some ways. It is kind of messed up in some ways that they would put Andrade in there with Blanchfield. Because even the Santos fight was a little premature. Because this is what Aaron is working with, all right? Aaron came into the UFC, beat Sarah Alpar, who was unranked, beat Miranda Maverick, who was, I think, unranked at the time as well. Or was she like on that 15 spot? We'll just say unranked because they both were low in there. JJ Aldridge is unranked, and we know Molly McCann for sure was unranked. By then, the JJ Aldridge fight put Aaron into the rankings, but then she fought down and fought Molly McCann, who was like number 15. So Molly McCann technically was her only ranked fight, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But even then, that was a low-ranked fight. So really, Aaron hasn't. They are doing a kind of dirty here, man. They are kind of doing it dirty here because all your other fighters that's been on the level, they fought up. They've been fighting levels up. Taila, she fought up and up. From let me see who did she beat? Jillian Robertson, Roxy, JoJo, and somebody else, right? She won her 4 in a row. Then Manon had went to after she beat Mara Buena Silva, she beat Jennifer Maya and Caitlin Chikagan. So she kind of went through the rankings the right way. Aaron's just fought everybody kind of below her, and now she's fighting at number 3. So yeah, when you kind of think about it, you'd be like, man, like they really pushing this girl. They putting this girl through some hell right here. That's wild. That's wild with it though. James said Andrade is slightly less of a jump than Santos would have been, though. Slightly less. The Chin said hi. Hey, Chin. You said you think that. Well, like I was saying earlier in my video, Santos is a different type of fighter, but I think she's a little bit more controlled. Like Santos isn't as wild as Andrade. Andrade is a little bit more of a. She's a little bit more of a explosive powerhouse, which could be a gift and a curse. Like a curse if you're dealing with some of the best fighters in the world, like Valentina fighting or Wei Li or Joanna, but it's a gift if you fight like a Calvillo or a Lemos. She's always game and she's ready to take you out. So yeah, it's slightly less. It still is in that. It's still in the hell realm. It's still in hell though. For regardless, Blanchfield is in hell in this one, man. I mean, and I hope she makes it out of here, man, because they both offer something that could do some damage to her. The thing is, Andrade is a little bit more proven and doesn't respect you when she comes out. She definitely doesn't come out and respect you, especially if you haven't won no belt. She ain't gonna respect you as a fighter. Okay. Yeah, Chin said, but when you talk about fighting Andrade as a destroyer, all she wants to do is wreck you, and that's dangerous for Aaron. Exactly. Yeah, that's dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, that's all that's on Andrade's mind, round after round. And the way she's been fighting in this last 3 rounds against Lauren Murphy was a little bit scarier too, because Blanchfield is not too far behind Lauren Murphy when it comes to speed. And that's not disrespect. I mean, speed isn't really Aaron's thing. She's younger, but timing is more of her thing. Timing and just adjustments on the fly to what her opponents do. But Aaron's not really known as this speedy fighter, even though she is 23, right? So speed factor plays in Andrade, and Andrade gonna be looking to destroy, especially with this being a main event. It's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be wild. Gabby said also Andrade is a big name and better name to have young prospect to test against Andrade in the main event always brings it. Yeah, I agree with that though. Like, that's the one thing I do agree with. Like, Andrade may be lower, but it is definitely a better name. It's a former champion, pound for pound, one of the best women in WMMA, and the most finishes in WMMA too, right? So there's a lot to take off of this win. It's a big win for Aaron if she can pull it off. Either win would be big, but this is bigger in the eyes of just the casual fans. The casual fans, if they know anybody, it's Andrade. They know Jessica more than Taila. So, in this type of situation, it's like, if you want, which win would you want more? Well, I would take Taila because she's higher, but Andrade, I can take it just as much. Colton said Aaron got put in a spot where she couldn't really say no. She was already going to the main event and couldn't ruin the card. She got screwed. Yeah. You right, Colton. I mean, the more I'm looking at it myself and just kind of reading through some things, I'm looking at the rankings and I'm just looking at her resume. Aaron's getting the raw end here, man. Like, she is, man. Because I didn't really want the Taila fight anyway. I didn't want that fight anyway. So it's like, yo, why are they doing this to her? You would have thought they might have just gave her a mid-ranked fighter. Maybe work something out between Jennifer Maia and Casey O'Neill and say, yo, Casey, do you mind stepping to the side and letting Jennifer Maia move up this week? We'll pay you good, Jennifer, even if you miss weight. That would have been a better situation, I think. Or even like Ibas Arujo be like, yo, can we pay you a little bit more? Take this fight on short notice, Arujo. Because me personally, I already said Arujo versus Blanchfield would have been a good fight. That way, she wouldn't be getting destroyed, possibly getting destroyed. Chin said, I can't remember the last time Andrade lost to a contender. I was just trying to think of it. And the thing is, Chin, before you said that, I was already thinking that, believe me, if Aaron wins this fight, people are going to start saying Andrade fell off. Because it's going to be like that. Because it's been that long. They're going to say she kind of missed a step now. And if Aaron goes in there and destroys her or something, yeah. I mean, I hope that don't happen. Oh boy, what y'all talking about? Somebody getting blocked? Nah, ain't nobody getting blocked in there. I ain't see no racist comments and no crazy talk. So ain't nobody getting blocked. What y'all talking about? Darby said block. Yeah, ain't nobody getting blocked. Claude said, "Got to give kudos to Aaron though for accepting all these changes." Yeah, she's just kind of going through the motions with this one, man. She's kind of going through it, and I respect her for it. That's all I can say when it comes down to her. I respect her for it. What y'all trying to block? What did Darby say here? I mean, Darby, you've been in here for a minute now. You got one of my. I thought. Yeah, Darby been around for a minute. I mean, Darby don't be trolling. Y'all know Darby don't be trolling. Darby been here for a minute. He been part of the squad for a minute. Yeah, TJ, that's what I was saying earlier. Maverick, you go for Molly, JJ Aldridge, and boom. That was harsh, man. That was harsh. Yeah, Darby, all right. Darby don't be spreading fake news though about fake fights. So, Darby ain't trolling. Well, yeah, he trolling, that's fine. I mean, y'all messing around. What you mean strapped? You been stripped, but naked a long time ago, man. James Press, what you talking about? James funny. All right. Jen said if Aaron beats Andrade, she will give Valentina a run for her money. If she doesn't get sparked in that stand up first. I can see that. Todd Johnson, what's going on, man? Todd's in the building. Todd, how you feel about this fight? Blanchfield Andrade. I ain't heard your take on it yet. How you feel about this fight? Yeah, if Aaron can do something insane against Jessica, but then again, Jessica and Valentina, they're not the same fighter, but maybe she could do something in that grappling zone. And then when it gets to the ground, that jujitsu zone, that's like it's going to turn into like a jujitsu tournament for Valentina and Aaron. Like if it gets on the ground, we're gonna really see how it get, like how dirty it gets. But yeah, you got to get past Valentina's stand up, man. And I was just watching Andrade and Valentina last night, and that was a good fight, man. That was a good clinic by Valentina. I mean, Valentina, she made Jessica Andrade look like, just a straight up baby in there. I was watching them 2 rounds last night, and I was like, yo, like, this is crazy. I mean, Valentina was what, 100% had 100% takedowns in that fight. Or was it maybe like 7 out of 8? Or was it a perfect 8 out of 8? Regardless, Andrade looked like she didn't belong in there. You know, and when the strikes did land on the feet, yeah, it was 7 out of 7. Yeah, 7 out of 7. Valentina scored 100% takedowns on Andrade. That's how insane and how clinical that fight was. So, if your forte is the ground, I know this is last minute for Aaron. It's time to work it. It's time to work it and get this fight down to the ground. It's time to work this fight and keep it in that realm on the ground. How good is Andrade off her back to y'all? I mean, let me ask you, Chin, like, how good do you think Jessica Andrade is off her back? Like, how many times have we really seen her work off of her back and be effective? Every time we see her, it's in the clinch against the cage. It's in the pocket. It's in the mid range. It's her coming forward. But like, how good is she off of her back to be a threat to Blanchfield? Because I'm stressing this. This is what she got to do. She's got to have Andrade like a turtle on her back. Because she's got strength, but how effective can she be breaking free? Like once Blanchfield tries to go for a crucifix, something like that. Yeah, I looked at a couple of her bantamweight fights. I was trying to see some moments, and even then, I wasn't really like impressed with it like that. You know what I mean? I really wasn't impressed with it. Let's see. Closer said Andrade is short. It will be hard for Aaron to clinch her and get her down. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be hard for her to get it down. I think it it comes with getting the right position. If you can get her from the right position, like from behind, like Valentina did, and she can't get any leverage to like grab your wrist or hand fight, you can slip that left leg up under her lead leg, maybe, and trip her and take her down. Yeah, she might bounce back up, but I think that that's that's something you have to look at. Like when you're dealing like a shorter fighter like that, she won't really have that leverage. So it's got to be Aaron getting the body lock from behind. And you got to have strength too. You got to have the strength. The boss said Andrade is not a big submission threat from her back, but she's hard to control. Yeah, I don't really see her as a submission threat. Because I don't remember Andrade on the back aside from Valentina. Right. And she ain't look good there. Mm, Walter Bell, what's up? He said, my gut tells me that Blanchfield is going to show up and show out. I hope she does, man, honestly, because, I want to see some new blood. I ride with Erin. I've been watching her for a minute as well, and I wouldn't mind. Was that you earlier, Walter, said that a lot of pundits were actually picking Erin? I haven't really been doing any research on who's picking who. I just been kind of watching fights. Like I don't really watch predictions too much, or I don't really watch other channels. Like I watch interviews every now and then when it's strictly from the fighter, or I'll just watch fights. Like I don't really watch other channels and hear other people's predictions. I just look at the fight and kind of base it off of that. And off of what I'm seeing from Aaron, I'm like, Aaron can make this interesting. James said, you think Andrade can get back up if she's on her back? I think she can, but I think whenever it's done multiple times, if Aaron can wear her down, maybe, you know. Mm. Colton says she's going to get TKO'd like Cynthia Calvillo in the first round. Dang. I mean, I added that. I mean, but it's pretty much the same deal. I mean, she did get TKO'd in the first round. Um, Dang. I hope not, man. I really hope not, man. I hope she can do something good, man, because we do need some new. We need some new fighters up in here. Claw said if Andrade wins, there'll be no immediate contenders for Val. She beats Grasso. Does Andrade get another title shot? I hope not. That's why I don't want to see her win. Andrade will get 115. Andrade will probably get a 115 title shot because that's all the people want to see, I think. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see it. Regardless if she beats Aaron, they don't want to see her fight Valentina again. Even if it's a different weight class, they rather just see see her move down and fight Wei Lee. All right, Todd said Aaron's jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I mean, to compare Aaron to Cynthia, I mean, hey, I didn't say it. I mean, Colton said it. He said she was going to get TKO'd in the first round. So, and Calvillo got TKO'd in the first round, right? Uh, that's what happened. I didn't say it. Okay. Chen said, why is Amanda not calling out Wiggly? She's going to get skipped and end up looking surprised. Yeah. With the wins that Andrade is racking up, Lemos might get past. She might miss that bus. She might miss that bus because, right now, Andrade is, putting together some wins. It's not in the strawweight division, and believe me, I want to see Lemos, but yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not up to Whaley to call out fighters. I mean, you're saying it right, Jen. I mean, Amanda has to be on it. Anybody that wants to fight champion has to be on it. It's not Whaley. Whaley won her fight. She's not holding up the division. Y'all got to call her. Valentina, she's not holding up the division. Y'all got to call her out. Now, Amanda Nunes, that's a different story. She got some choices. She just turned them down. Okay. But yeah, Lemos got to make it vocal right now. I mean, she's saying some things. She said a few things here and there, but Andrade's actions are kind of speaking loud right now. They are speaking loud, and you got to watch that because the UFC Dana White likes these active fighters, and he's going to reward them. He's going to reward them if Andrade is stopping girls or beating up girls like Lauren, and she stops Aaron. Yeah, he'll reward her. Darby said, "Don't you think Aaron is cool with all this? I doubt she feels like she's being pushed into these big fights. I'm sure it's exactly what she wants because she believes she can beat either one." Yeah, I'm sure she is confident. Yeah, I mean, it don't phase her, because she did want the Santos fight. But, being a realist, it's definitely going to be hell for her. It most definitely is. Yeah, when it comes down to it, that's the one thing we never talked about, Darby, because that's not the issue here, right? Like Aaron, through this whole thing, has not made an excuse. She ain't talked no trash. She just been preparing for a fight. Now that the opponents changed, she announced it to everybody, and she's just kind of going through the motions. Like she's the only one in here not, making a big stink, right? Closer said, "You don't remember Lamos calling her out on IG." Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. But I'm just saying, like, is she doing it enough? Like, it takes more than once. You got to stay on it, and you listen to what I'm saying here. I'll be making videos, all this stuff, but listen to what I'm saying. When a fighter is doing the work like Andrade, whether you like it or not, Dana White looks at that type of stuff. He rewards that type of stuff. Remember what he said to Carla? When Carla was going to wait for a championship fight, he was like, "You know what? I don't like when fighters wait." Right? He wound up giving Carla her rematch against Rose, but what did he say? He was like, "I don't like when fighters try to sit back and wait. I like active fighters." So if Andrade is staying active, he's gonna look at that. He's gonna look at that as a sign of somebody that wants to fight. But with Lemos making a call out here and there, it's good, but we got to hear a little bit more. Jesse Goodman, what's up? He said, "I learned the hard way to not bet against Jessica." Right. When did I bet against Jessica Andrade? First Rose fight I did. I bet against Jessica Andrade the first Rose fight. Not the Whaley fight, though. I went with Whaley in that one. I went with Rose again in the rematch against Andrade. I picked Caitlin Kagan to beat Andrade, Jesse. So, hey, don't feel too bad about that, man. I picked, I'm looking at Caitlin Kagan, and I thought she had the IQ and the skills. She just didn't have the durability. So, hey. And I almost picked Calvillo to beat Andrade, but I had to wisen up. So, very rarely do I pick against Andrade, man. Cole said you also picked Cynthia. See, where y'all getting this from? Do y'all not remember? I did not pick Cynthia. Like, people only hear what they want to hear. That same night, I did not pick her. Like you said and somebody else, do I gotta pull up the videos all the time? Like I did not pick Calvillo. Almost is not picking Calvillo. Leading up to it, but if I make the change, guess what? That's not picking her. I know you're trying to catch me lying, but I'm not. I didn't pick her. If I picked her, I would have just said, okay, I picked her. Good Lord. Like, how hard is it to remember that? I mean, I know y'all want to catch me in a lie here, but dang. Yeah, Gary said he changed. I changed the pick. I for real changed the pick. I mean, man, like, come on, y'all. Now, see, Chikagan, I picked. Chikagan, I ain't gonna lie, I picked her. You know, I thought I had some good arguments on how Chikagan was gonna win. You know what I mean? Like, Chikagan, I had a legit reasons. You know, I felt like she had some good skills to beat her. You know, so I'm gonna own that one. But uh, at least I didn't pick her to beat. At least I didn't pick Claudia to beat Jessica Andrade, right, TJ? TJ, don't TJ, you can walk right into something with me. The same way Claudia walked into Andrade's right hand. Oh, that's a TKO right there for TJ. You gonna walk right into a right hand like Claudia did against Jessica Andrade, buddy. Gabby said, at some point, all these prospects and contenders are going to find a way to beat Andrade. The champs of each division can't be the only one to defeat Andrade. And that's the thing. The blueprint is there. You know, the blueprint is 100% there. It's just some of these fighters don't have the full on focus. You know, they don't have the full on focus to do this thing. Like, even Rose, though she was a champion, you know, she barely made it out. You know, she lost one fight, barely made it out of the second fight. So it takes pure focus, really. Like, it's really the focus, I think, with some of these fighters. The ones that break focus, they lose. Because you see, when Joanna and Valentina did it, Wei Lee did it. It was a walk in the park. You know, I like how all three of them beat Andrade though. You know, like I love the way Joanna did it. I love the way Valentina did it. I mean, Wei Lee did it the best though, right? TJ, your favorite fighter don't even fight no more. Your favorite TJ, your favorite fighter don't even fight no more. Yes, I think Taila can beat Andrade easily. I think so. I think she can beat her. That would have been an interesting fight. Mark said you can change your pick from Cynthia to Andrade, but you did pick. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I did pick Montana over Macy. And like I said, I own that one. But you, Marcus, I know you picked Cynthia Calvillo. I know you picked Cynthia Calvillo, Marcus. See, I blame BJ for that Montana business. Actually giving her a chance. And I'm like, what was I thinking? But you know what? Montana Macy is not as bad as Cynthia Andrade, though. Like, picking Calvillo to beat Andrade is like, okay, for real. You know, Montana Macy, it's not in that realm because you know Macy's still trying to make a name for herself, right? So it's not as bad. Oh, appreciate it, Darby with the 10 spot. He said, "Here's $10. Use it to bet on who you think will win. So is it Andrade or Aaron, and how do they win?" Mm. Can't really go wrong with an Andrade finish, though, huh? I mean, when it comes to your pockets, I mean, I want to see Aaron win, but you know who you want to win and how you make financial moves sometimes are two different things, right? That's how they used to place bets back in the day, right? They wanted certain fighters to win, but they would know who not to bet on. No. Appreciate that, Darby. I'll hang on to it though. Save it for the bet. The boss says some don't have the focus and some don't have the tools. Cavill tried to follow the blueprint, but wasn't good enough at striking. No, her striking has always been her game. Her lack, like she uses it a lot, but her wrestling is like some of the best. Could have been some of the best, but she just hasn't stuck to it like that. Andrade always giving us surprise KO / submissions. Yeah. And I keep thinking of how she might react to a right hand, man. Oh, Gabby said Grasso versus Andrade in the future. That'd be an interesting fight. I don't know, man. The more and more I look at what Grasso can do, I would probably give Grasso more of a chance if she was more of a killer in there. But I think technically she would have some good moments against Andrade in that fight. From a distance, kind of like how Rose did. But she would have to be quick quick to break, breaking any type of clinches, and her takedown defense would have to be on point in that fight. James said, "Yeah, who would you favor between Andrade and Grasso?" I mean, technically, I wouldn't want to count Grasso out in this fight. Like, I like what she's been working on and how she strikes, with her overall technical style, but I think her lack of commitment sometimes can get her in trouble. He said if Cavillo's striking is bad, then Eyes striking is terrible. Cavillo's striking isn't like it's not what she thinks it is. Let's put it that way. Cavillo's striking is not what she thinks it is. At least Jessica does have a pretty good jab about her. Like, Jessica did beat. Can't say she beat Arujo and Chikagian with her hands. That was something Calvillo couldn't do. So I can't say like Jessica's striking is terrible. I think Jessica's striking is it's like her best suit. Let's be real. That's just her best suit. Like, she loses a lot of fights because she's not really like this well-rounded fighter. But those are her suits, because even Calvillo had to take Jessica down in that fight, right? When Calvillo and Jessica fought, Calvillo didn't really box with her in that fight. She started taking her down, I believe, right? So I really can't say, yeah, like if Calvillo's striking is bad and Jessica's striking is terrible. No, not really. Like, Calvillo's is okay, but sometimes I think she overcommits to it when she shouldn't. Like, when she's shorter, when she's the shorter fighter, when she's dealing with a better striker like Caitlin, she'll spend too much time on her feet. But she wising up in that Jessica fight. She started taking her down. So yeah, I still think Jessica had some good, good moments about her striking to get her victories. Calvillo got outstruck by Carla. Yeah, I remember that fight. Yeah, Darby, you bet with your head and not your heart. That's the old axiom. Yep. That's what it's about. Yeah, Zaman, that's really what it is. I has good boxing, but she's just one dimensional. I think she's just very committed to the boxing, and she's not that great of a well-rounded. She's not like this great well-rounded fighter. No, it's just her boxing. That's her strongest suit, and when she uses it, it is kind of, you can't say it is better than Calvillo's at times. I mean, it worked, but Calvillo used her wrestling in that fight and beat her with it. So James says 60-40 Andrade or 50-50 for next week. I'm gonna say 65-35. 65-35 for Andrade. 65-35 for Andrade. Lingering around that 60-40, 65-35. But 50-50, I can't say that based off of resumes and based off of accomplishments. In all reality, I want to see Aaron do good. I want to see her advance. But no, 50-50, no. I mean, 50-50 would be like, going back to Grasso and Arujo at the time. You know what I mean? Gary says 70-30. Yeah, I'm being a little nice. So I'm giving her that jiu-jitsu edge that could get her the fight. But yeah, 70-30, definitely not going to say that's a bad pick. Yeah, anybody picking, or to stop Blanchfield, it's definitely highly, highly possible. Gabrielle said Loma versus Velissimus next. Well, they haven't fought yet, have they? Loma versus Velissimus. That's not a bad fight. Maybe like Loma versus. I'd like to see Loma versus Carolina Kobakevich, actually. Loma versus Carolina Kobakevich, because I think it's time to get her in there with another veteran to see if she can get to the top 15. I hope that Loma can make the right improvements, to make up for her size. Because she's strong now, for a 5'1" fighter. She's 27, she's strong. She still has, some years ahead of her. I want to see her fight somebody with some improving ground game in itself. Carolina would be an interesting fight. Yeah, Andrade is definitely a future Hall of Famer. Yeah. But Loma, versus Velissimus. Yeah, I think I would go with Loma in that fight, man. Brian said if Aaron's defense is improved, that'll be enough for me. I hope so. If her head is on the line in this fight and she catches punches and jabs like she did in her last few fights, it's going to be an early wrap. So it's going to change the course of the fight. Like, it's going to change her demeanor when anybody's demeanor changes when they get hit square in the face by Andrade. I think Angela Hill, she took her punches pretty well and she fought pretty well. But who's the other fighter I was thinking of? Joanna, she did well. Six said, where is Tracy Cortez fit in all of this? I don't know. She's kind of on a break right now. So Cortez has, the world ahead of her. She has the division ahead of her. She's still 29. She's 10-1, but I don't see her coming back at any time soon. Six said, what happened to Michelle Waterson? What's her next fight? Her next fight is Luana Pinheiro. Yeah. Michelle Waterson's fighting Luana Pinheiro next. Loma versus Yasmin for top 15. That's an interesting fight. Loma got some powerful kicks though, but I think Yasmin Haurigi's a little bit bigger and stronger. I mean, the winner of Loma versus Yasmin should definitely replace Poliana Viana, in my opinion. I mean, that sounds fair to me, don't it? I mean, come on, that fight right there. You beat Loma or Loma beats Yasmin. To me, that's a better replacement for the 14 or 15 spot. I mean, yeah, Poliana Viana is number 15 now. And what is that based off of? And Luana Pinheiro is like number 14, and she's been inactive for a while. So how they got to the 14 and 15 spot, I don't know. But if Loma was actually able to beat Yasmin, that'd be her third win in a row. Likewise for Yasmin. So I wouldn't argue it. Yeah, Pinheiro is number 13 now. Emily Ducote, had a very shaky performance against Angela Hill, beyond shaky performance, right? So Emily Ducote, man, Angela Hill ain't playing right now, boy. She's schooling some girls. So Angela Hill already beat Loma, I think. Yeah, Angela Hill's beat Loma, beat Loopy, Emily. She beating all of these fighters. Tracy Cortez is milking out her undefeated record. Oh no, she's not undefeated. She has one loss. Early in her career. It was Invicta, so it's a legit loss. She got submitted early in her career. You mean her undefeated UFC record, I guess, but yeah, she's not undefeated. Yasmin versus Sam Hughes. That's a good fight. Sam has the wrestling skill. If she could get the fight down to the ground, could make it interesting. Yeah, so you have to get an early start against a high volume fighter like Yasmin. Yasmin's going to be on offense, so Sam would have to be pumping that jab out, slowing the pace of the fight down, and taking the fight down to the ground. So that's a good fight to test Yasmin's ground game. So yeah, that would be an interesting fight. But yeah, Sam is fighting Jacqueline Amaram now. Poliana got a great KO in the last fight. Jinh Fry, right? Not top 15 worthy though. That wasn't enough to put her in top 15 to me. To me, and I. Six said, "Did you hear the new clause in the UFC contracts that any disputes can no longer be brought to court, but to settle in arbitration?" What's your thoughts? Really? It's a new clause in UFC contracts that any disputes can no longer be brought to court. That's kind of crazy. It's like they trying to, keep some noise down on the UFC. Like, you know what I mean? Like they trying to just settle all this out of court and just avoid any bad publicity for the UFC. I don't know about that. But if it's in their contract, some of these fighters don't think about that stuff. Gabby said Loma versus Ducote. I think I'm gonna go with Dakota in that fight. But those kicks, man, every time I think of Loma's kicks, they're powerful. Let's see. Slime said sign Jillian DeCourcy and make her versus Loma for the first atomweight belt. I could do that. You know, DeCourcy, you know, she's already ran her course through Invicta, and it would be nice to see somebody that's still growing and improving as a fighter. You know, still, you know, offers a lot, especially if they did like an atomweight division right now. You know, yeah, Jillian DeCourcy, you know, she got a personality too. You know, she's out there. You know, she's always out there. So that's not a bad sign, you know. James said win a Suarez fight in 2 weeks. She'll be fighting February 25th against, yeah, you know, De La Rosa. Sink, what's up? He said Corey McKenna versus Yasmin. I'll take Yasmin in that fight. Gabby said Yasmin says she wants to enter the rankings by 2024 or 2025. Yeah, yeah, I think I talked a little bit about that a while ago because she was you know, just kind of voicing her opinion on you know, just kind of voicing her opinion on, you know, wanting to move the right way and not get rushed. So Aaron will learn from this fight. That's the best anyone you can realistically hope for. Yeah, I hope so. Oh, hold on. He said, "Do you think Montana has a chance?" I think she has. I think she has somewhat of a chance. You know, she is fighting a fighter that's been out of the game for about 4 years almost, but I still think that Suarez's style and her wrestling is still going to be a big factor. You know, I still think, you know, moving up in weight, she'll be strong. You know, I think she'll be strong. You know, not worried about a rough weight cut. Gary Baldwin said, "Oh boy, Gary Baldwin said, Lauren, no, she don't." I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying that as the shocker. Uh, maybe it's an OnlyFans, like, you know, maybe it's just a G-rated OnlyFans. Well, that's the thing, you know, OnlyFans is getting a bad rep. Of course it is because what people post on it. But I mean, OnlyFans isn't just for um nudity and stuff like that, right? It's not just for nudity. You know, Chris Cyborg and Angela Hill has one, right? Who else has one that doesn't use it for like nude stuff? Sarge Eubank has one. It's crazy because every time people say a fighter's name and then they hear OnlyFans, you know, people go, "Oh man." But yeah, it's more of a just like I said, it's just a site for fans to visit, you know, their favorite whatever. It's just gotten a bad rep of being like a strip club online now. You know what I mean? I'm glad Andrade got rid of hers because she was posting that stuff, and I was like, I'll just stick to the fight. Yasmin Demopoulos is a good fight, Gabby. Yeah, because you know that's a good grappler for her to face. You know, somebody quick, athletic. and likes to get the fight to the ground. Her submission, her jiu-jitsu is on point. Yeah, that was actually one I called for a little while back too, Gabby. I'd like to see Yasmin Demopoulos. Don't be surprised if they make that fight. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that though. I don't know nothing about no Lauren Murphy doing that. But like I said, if it's a strictly fight related or whatever, good for them. That's what it should be. Okay. Gabby said Demopoulos said she wants to enter the top 5 by the end of the year. Do you think she can? Ooh, Gabby. That's a good question. Not in the fact that I don't. No, the big question is, can she get into the top 10? That's where we got to start with. That's where we got to start with Demopoulos first. Let's be real. That's where we got to start with Demopoulos. Can she get into the top 10? And right now, if she doesn't improve in her defense, if she doesn't improve in her striking selection, unfortunately, I don't think she gets to the top 10 by the end of the year. I mean, even if you look at some of the names that she'd be up against, like a Janaroba, Angela Hill, Tisha's out right now. Yeah, Angela Hill, Verna Janaroba, Waterson. Ebos is messing with flyweight right now. It would come down to being moved a certain way to get into the top 10, but top 5, whew, Gabby, that is like wishful thinking for her. I mean, who do you think she can beat to get into the top 10? That's like the question right there. Like, who do you think Demopoulos can beat to get into the top 10? Because honestly, yeah, like with some of the lack of defense, like she's great on the ground. Like she's a wild card on the ground. Like when she gets you down, she's quick. She's fluid, flexible. But whenever she's on the feet, she shows a lot of heart, but she gets hit a lot. She gets hit a lot. And when you look at the girls like Dakota, Angela Hill, who's got that work rate, even Waterson, Verna Janaroba's been improving in her stand-up, and she's bigger and longer. I think there's a lot of girls there that would kind of stop her from moving. I would actually like to see her fight Loopy in a rematch right now. Just because I don't think they'll ever get to like championship level. Honestly, I like to see them fight again now. They put on a great fight in LFA. That's a rematch I would love right now. But yeah, I don't. Top 5, man. Woo. Yeah, let's talk top 10 first. At least that would be more so realistic. Chin said Dern maybe. I would still favor Dern in that fight. I would still favor Dern. Torres, like I said, is out. Ebos is out. But that would be like the only name. Her or Vern, I don't see her beating though. Nah, I don't see that. Yasmin versus Dern. I would go with Yasmin in that fight. Maybe after a couple more fights, I think Yasmin can do it because I think Yasmin's got a very good stand-up game. Good balance, all of that. Chen said Tisha's low key taking up space. Yeah, she's been number 8 for a while. When was her last fight? And now she's pregnant. She's pregnant, and her last fight was against what? Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, she's been in the division for a minute now. James Perez said, "What's up with Juju? She won Ultimate Fighter, and no fight since." No, Juju has a fight coming up in March, right? Veronica Macedo. Yeah, James. Juju has a fight coming up. Yeah, March 18th. She's fighting Juju. Veronica Macedo. Gabby said maybe Tisha retires after having a baby. I don't know. Yeah, she could. Oh, 06. Valeska Machado fights next month. She's fighting Danny McCormick. Invicta FC 52. Yep. Machado McCormick. Fight is made. It's the main event for Invicta FC. So yeah, Valeska's Machado. That's gonna be a good fight too, because Danny's gonna push the fight. Yeah, Danny McCormick. She's a bit of a scrappy fighter, but she'll push the fight. I saw her in one fight in Bellator, man. Danny McCormick, boy, she got knocked out. She got knocked out like the first round. Oh man, that was crazy. The girl can fight. I mean, she likes to push the pace. She'll come in there and fight. I've seen her fight in Bellator a number of times, and she's action. She's all action. But Machado, she's a lot of technique, a lot of movement. I really want to, I want to see that fight too. March 15th is when Valeska comes back. That's a month from now. Let me see. Well, I'll call that fight. We'll see. Hold on. Off. Let's see. Off. I might call that fight. We'll see if I have time on that one. Just a month out, but we'll see. Sink said he want to see better boxing technique and fundamentals. This go from Juju. Also, her ground and pound needs work. Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely want to see her get better. And like I said, she got some. She's growing. Like she's actually linked up with some good boxers. She's working with the one boxer Raquel Miller, and the whole team of boxers out there now. Juju's out there working. Six said, "What do you think of the Game Bread card?" It's kind of funny. I guess seeing Roy fighting Anthony Pettis is just kind of weird to me. But I'll see. I'm kind of more so interested in Gina Mazzani and Pearl Gonzalez. That just kind of shows you where I'm at with Pettis and Jones at this point. Like, especially for Roy, Roy don't really need to be boxing anymore, But, just seeing Gina Mazzani and Pearl, and I think Emily Whitmire's boxing on that card too. Yeah, that just tells you where we're at with, the main event now. Like, it's just a cash grab for Jones and Pettis at this point. And that's on them, that's them. I mean, Jose Aldo, I'm gonna check that fight out. I just want to see what he can do. Jose trying to lead up to a Floyd Mayweather exhibition. I don't know. Genesis, what's going on? TJ said, when is Casey O'Neill fighting Maya? I think it's in April. Is it April or March? I think it's in April or March or something like that. Hold on. March 18th. Yeah, it's March 18th. It's next month. Yeah, Kamen said you can't go wrong with Andrade in most cases. Yeah, you really can't. I just need to see some. I just want to see some change to the division. Yeah, Chan, that's sad. Poliana Bateo has breast cancer, so definitely sending prayers out to her. She's in the hospital now. Receiving treatment. So got to send some prayers out to her, man. Cancer's a crazy thing, man. It is, never think you can get it, but hey, yeah, yeah. But Teo definitely sending some prayers out to her, man. I didn't even see that coming, man. I hope, I hope it was treated, and I hope they got it. You know, Darby said, "What about Arujo versus Ebos? Ebos can't get in the mix real quick with a win." Um, yeah, when is that fight? Is that fight in March too? Is that April? Yeah, Ebos can definitely squeeze in though, because Arujo is not a guaranteed win for her either. I'm leaning towards Arujo, but still, yeah, it's March 4th. All of this stuff is going down next month. Yeah, Arujo Ebos is on the Jones Gone card. Oh wow, I didn't even know that. I forgot. Yeah, you got Arujo Ebos, Panay and Ricci. Uh, you know, you got Shevchenko and Grasso. Yeah, thanks to Ebos at flyweight. Ebos versus Yasmin or Ebos versus Lupi. I would prefer Ebos versus Lupi. Um, I think Yasmin needs a few more fights before y'all match her up with Ebos, in my opinion. And yeah, I don't know if she'll ever come back down to strawweight. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That Jacinta Austin fight is this Saturday, right? There's another fight I'm looking at too. What's her name? Alandria Brown. No, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Alandria Brown in LFA, new up and comer. But yeah, Jacinta Austin, she's a young undefeated fighter fighting in UAE. I'm gonna check that fight out. Yeah, that Vivi jab might do some damage on Ebos, them straight punches. Lolita said Ebos beats Vivian Arujo. Um, it's possible, but I'm picking Vivian Arujo. If Vivian Arujo loses this fight, I'm gonna really be mad, man. I'm gonna be disappointed. I ain't gonna be mad. Disappointed, but not mad. Um, I mean, Sink already came up with the name for Arujo after losing to Grasso. But if she loses the E-Boss, I might take him up on that name. If she loses the E-Boss and she loses badly, I think that I might take him up on that name he came up with. came and said Chandler might beat McGregor at 170. We don't know how scary or detrimental Chandler will be at 170. I don't know either. Like Michael Chandler, I don't know if he'll have the gas tank. Maybe. Like if the weight cut isn't too rough for Chandler and he's able to keep his endurance, based off of, a smooth weight cut, he could be stronger. He could be stronger and quick here. And that's what some people don't understand. Like sometimes with some of these fighters that have that natural athleticism and that muscle mass, sometimes putting on more weight or avoiding the rough weight cut, they actually come in a little bit faster. They'll actually come in a little bit faster and stronger down the stretch. Yeah, it came in. If he cuts 170, let's see, from 170 to 155, it could definitely do some wonders for him. Because he's not losing a lot of fat. He's, dropping a lot of muscle. Have they set a date for that fight yet, Chandler and McGregor? Or are they just still talking about it? Gary said he's rooting for Justine Knudsen in that fight. That should be a good fight. UAE, they have some good fights. Both of these young ladies 4-0. Yeah, I'm gonna check this one out. There was some LFA fights this past week I missed. Yeah. That's right. They got the tough house to do. I forgot. Do they got it? Do they got it like fleshed out? Like who's gonna be in the tough house? What weight classes? Or is it still too early to tell? Oh boy, let's see. Yeah, no dates yet. It's just set for season 31. And they better do something a little bit more exciting, man, because I think that I was, you know, I wasn't really hyped about the last Tough House. I really wasn't like hyped about the last Tough House. Like, you remember I was going to cover it day by day, week by week. And I wound up covering like the first 4 or 5, but then I was kind of like, I'll talk about the fights. But I think they're starting off right. They're starting off right by getting Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler now. So with two names like that and two contrasting personalities and explosive, unpredictable behavior with Conor McGregor, I think that is probably already off to a better start as far as promotion, because the last one, I don't think that they did a good job with it. Nunes and Pena, they had a lot of potential to have more tension going on in the house, but they kind of held back and they kind of cut some things out. I remember Juju and Juliana Pena saying that they cut a lot of stuff out. So the way they did the show didn't really do it justice like the previous years. Which, like I said, it's the fight game, so you expect some crazy stuff. I mean, we ain't asking for ignorant stuff all the time, but I mean, at least they can throw in some, a little bit of action here and there, like some of the pranks that Pena wanted to pull on Nunes. You got to make it interesting. So, yeah, I didn't like how it was put together because, yeah, Juju said that they cut a lot of stuff out. She said they cut a lot of stuff out. It just kind of made it look more boring, and it did. I mean, Usman, yeah, he scored a big knockout in the end, but the overall build up of the show was just kind of like, Six said the Tough House would just help promote the fight, but not sure if Chandler is the right person to match Max trash talking. Right. Yeah, they have contrast personalities, but yeah, I don't know if he can match it like that. You know, I think he'll have to be more physical to kind of get his point across. James said 6 months after he enters to be eligible to fight, they're not fighting before September at the least. Said they announced the fight. They announced the fight will be in August after Tough, so it's August. All right, so yeah, the show will probably be like June, July, 6 weeks of the show. Or was it like 12 weeks or 8 weeks? Like 8 weeks of the show, and then the fight will probably be like the first week of August, just like last year. Yeah, Connor been big too lately. I've been seeing some pictures of him. Yeah, he's huge too. Yeah, Tough. Yeah, it was kind of edited horribly cold. Now, I wasn't really a big fan of how they put it together this past season. You would think that with the rematch going down, like they would have been trying to push this thing and promote it. Hey, James said Chandler's new Gaethje. I mean, he hadn't started off. He started off on a rocky road, so he definitely is proof that he's reckless, unpredictable, reckless though. With Connor Chandler being a 50-50 fight, like Gary said, I mean, that kind of shows you how, Connor is kind of falling down the pole just a little bit, and what he needs to work on, and how predictable he's kind of gotten. You know, like yeah, what if they fought at like 170, man, and like Chandler takes him down? Like, can he handle that type of weight and wrestling on him? I don't know. Yeah, his explosions here in the UFC, they just been very, very, very reckless walking into stuff so much. So I don't know if he's just, trying to go in there and get a quick finish and build up to the crowd, but yeah, I guess it comes down to the level of competition too. Bellator versus UFC. The fighters in the UFC can expose them a little bit more. Oh boy, guess it comes down to who fades first. Yeah, Connor, after about two or three, he started eating some calf kicks, and then he get put on his backside, for round after round. If Chandler just keeps on wrestling him, shoot. Cameron said it's intriguing because Chandler at 170 is so unknown. Does he have a better chin, more power, or maybe slower? I don't know. Yeah, he could have a better chin. It depends on like I said, like two ways to look at it. Like if the weight cuts are rough on a fighter, moving down to 155, but with a smoother weight cut to like 170, it'll probably be more in favor of his body and his reaction and his brain. So he could have a better chin in that fashion, you know. Power, yeah. Volkanovski to me, he showed a good example of how his power carried up. He was actually stunning Islam whenever he could. So very, same situation could play out here for Chandler. Not saying it will, but Darby said Nunez doesn't like the camera or doing media. Pena as a champion is better for the organization because she talks all sorts of crazy. About time she gets that. About time she gets back in the cage, man. Both of them. Gary said Kobe doesn't want to fight real contenders, period. I wanted to see Kobe versus Hamzat. I mean, Volkanovski just proved why he is one of my favorites today. And, why I just been, such a big fan of his style, more and more throughout the past years now. I mean, I want him to see him move back down to featherweight, do his thing, but eventually I want to see him fight Islam at some point, but not right away. Conor will hit Chandler with that Alvarez combo. Kobe ducked Hamzat. I can't. I haven't heard much about it, but yeah, I can't say he hasn't. I mean, it seemed like that fight should have been signed by now, right? Is Rose fighting this year? She's supposed to be. Well, in her last interview, her game plan was to, in November, decide when she comes back. Okay, decide when she comes back in November or December, and then the plan was to come back in what, mid 2023 or something like that. So I'm not expecting her to come back until like July or August now. Hopefully they set up a fight with her and Marina or Yan John on or something, man. Unless she does more grappling, who knows? If she does more Fury grappling. I mean, Jillian shut her down quick. Jillian Robertson did shut her down quick. She came and said anybody who fights Yair are going to get their ribs checked, even if they win. We could be right about that fighting Yair, but I think Volk is the only one that's going to be able to neutralize those kicks. I think he's going to try those kicks, but I can see Volk catching a few of them. Maybe even catching a few to land his own right hand. And when he catches a few of them catches a few of them kicks, he'll start landing right hands, I think. I think that Emmett had the perfect style. When I was looking back at it, I said, yeah, he's wide open for those body shots. I think most guys, eat those body kicks, but I think Volk, after looking at his fight with Islam, he's going to learn from that because Islam caught him with a few body kicks. But you see, he started neutralizing it. He started making some right adjustments. And I think he's going to learn from that. So I don't think he'll catch him with like that same intensity like he was doing, like he did against. He won't. I don't think he'll get hit like that, like he was doing against Islam. Okay, here go Brian talking about he didn't neutralize Islam kicks. He started landing on the inside. When he started landing those right hands, he started slowing the fight down. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it because I know what you're getting at. Islam didn't win that fight. I know that's what you wanted. You want me to say Islam didn't win that fight. Islam did not win that fight. That's what it all comes down to. Volkanovski won that fight. Volkanovski was putting that pressure on him. And he did neutralize his tie clinch as well. Like he landed some okay knees, but he was not landing that tie clinch like even the commentators were saying. Like Volk had Islam on his back to the cage at one point, and the way he was like controlling his hips from throwing any of them knees, I was like, man. Jen said she thought Islam won 1, 2, and 4. I gave I mean, I'm not arguing with anybody about it because I'm saying I'm not saying it's a robbery, but I know who I think won the fight, and even my community posts don't lie. So I mean, like the majority of the community posts picked Volkanovski. So I mean, you can make an argument who won the fight. So 1, 2, and 4, I can't even give. Mm-mm. Like I said, when I looked at that round 4, I couldn't even really give that to Islam. Just holding. Nah. I mean, I'll break it down. I already broke it down round by round how I saw the fight go, and Islam didn't fight this perfect fight where he was utilizing everything that people said he was going to do. You know, he didn't do he didn't do he didn't do half the stuff that a lot of people said he was going to go in there and do to Volkanovski. Everybody thought he was just going to go in there and manhandle. Nah, Brian, that ain't got nothing to do with it because everybody was picking Islam. It ain't got nothing to do with feelings here. Because I respect Islam. I just don't think he won the fight. It ain't got nothing to do with people don't like Islam because everybody was picking him to win this fight. Round three was not close. That's when the table started to turn right there. Round 3, to me, it went to Volkanovski. That's where the fight started to really change to me. Like the solid rounds that we really can't argue about to me are 3 and 5 for Volk. To me, 3 and 5 were Volkanovski's rounds for sure. Like I said, how I looked at round 4, with Volkanovski landing more strikes, even though he's holding. I gotta give it to. I gave it to Volkanovski. Same way people gonna say Valentina was out striking Taila. Same situation, right? Oh man, 6. I remember Bonk's adventures. Yeah, he comes with that energy too, man. He got the same head and the same attack. I was actually messing with some old games the other day. Not TurboGrafx 16, but well, I got one of those what do you call it? Uh, I got one of those little systems with all of those gaming consoles on it, with those little ultra consoles with TurboGrafx 16 and all of that. That's funny, Bonk. I can't believe. Do people even remember Bonk? I thought I'd be like the only person that remember Bonk's adventure in here. I wasn't even big on that system, but I remember a Bonk game came out on Super Nintendo. Yeah, Chin. A lot of people were sold that Volk was going to get mauled. Yeah. Hold on. Brian said, "Who said Islam fight a perfect fight? So what? He didn't manhandle Volk. That doesn't mean he didn't win the fight. Volk just didn't do enough. No, he did enough to me. And everybody said that Islam was going to go in there and stop him or destroy him. But Volkanovski, to me, put that pressure on, hurt him a few times, ended the fight nicely. Was touching that body too. Yeah, everybody was saying that, man. That's why I'm like, look, yeah, y'all see it. Y'all see what he did. But it's all good, though. I mean, like, we know who the better fighter is. I mean, when it comes down to it, we know who the better fighter is. We know the better technical fighter is. It took somebody moving up to show them that, hey, this is how it's done. Yeah, because a lot of people were saying that. It was like, it was like, oh boy, Islam going to destroy him. MMA Art, what's up? He said the thing is Islam was winning round 4 before the takedown. And he was laying strikes where he had Volk in a triangle lock. I just failed submission attempts like Taila. Well, I gave him that first couple minutes. Yeah, I did give him that. You go back and listen to my video. I did give him credit on that. But once he got that takedown and he was just holding, I really couldn't score any of that. Like she was well, not Taila Santos was in that same position to me, of just holding, and you're just letting this person score on you at that point. You're kind of giving up the round. So I had to look at it the same way. Like Santos may have them failed submission attempts, but what was Islam doing any different? Like, what was he doing any different in that situation? Like, he was nowhere even near submitting Volkanovski. Volkanovski was talking trash, throwing punches behind him, Bonk was the only reason I bought TurboGrafx 616, worst system of all time, in my opinion. But I can't lie with you. I can't disagree with you on that, man. I mean, that console was expensive too. I remember back in the day, like we used to kind of want, me and my brother, we used to want the TurboGrafx 616, but when we saw what Super Nintendo offered, we said the hell with that. We get the Super Nintendo. And I'm glad that we went that road. Super Nintendo was the best experience we ever had. Of course I had Sega Genesis as well. But yeah, TurboGrafx 616, outside of Bonk, what was it? Like this game called Keith Courage. When they had the CD-ROM to it, there was some other good games. But other than that, yeah, they didn't offer much. They didn't offer nothing for that expensive system, man. I was like, get out of here. Super Nintendo, boy. Yeah. I was glad we never got TurboGrafx 16, man. Going back looking at it now, yeah. Donovan said, I just had never seen so much pushback from a unanimous decision ever. Right. Islam will forever live in the shadows of Khabib, and Khabib will forever be Islam's hype man. Wow. Yeah, no, I think Islam, he's gonna he's gonna either pave his way, he either gonna get better from this fight, or he'll stay the same. You know, that's the only way I think he can go right now. I mean, I like what he was doing in this fight. It's in some moments, but to me, he just never really lived up to what everybody said he was going to do. Do you think Islam landed more than people usually do on Volk? I think he landed more. I think he landed effective shot. I think he landed more effective shots. You know, body and body and head. Yeah, tie clinch. Yeah. 6 at Super Nintendo best. Yeah, best system of all time. Definitely best system of all time. And the NES. I love the NES too, but those two systems got the classic games. Every game that comes out now, it's like one good game, one system, one or two games. But back when I had systems like those, it was like 15 to 20 good games. Mojo, what's up? He said Volk laughed and talked to Islam while he was trying to put the choke on, but flat out couldn't do it. Yeah, he was just talking trash to him in there, man. Oh, Patty the Batty versus Gordon. Who do I think would win? Um, that energy from Gordon. I mean, I don't know how everybody feels about Patty, but I might lean towards Patty in this one. Not Gordon. I was thinking of what's his name that called him out. But yeah, the Jared Gordon fight. I gotta watch that fight again. I was thinking the other guy that called him out. The other guy that called Patty the Batty out. What's his name? He was talking about how Patty keeps his chin out. That's what I was thinking of. But the Jerry Gordon fight, I'm gonna have to watch that again because that was kind of a blur to me. Yeah. I know. I was thinking of the guy that called him out. I can't remember his name now. I have to watch that fight again. What she said, my old dog was originally named Bonk because it was the owner's son's favorite game. They changed the name Bonk. He said, "Where did that come from?" Oh, we were talking about games. Six was talking about Bonk. So Mushy brought up Bonk. It didn't come out of nowhere. We were talking about games. So Darby said Islam did not get exposed like many people say. Volkanovski only fighter that can take it to Islam that way. Maybe Darius, but no one else in the division can push Islam that way. And what's crazy is, Volk, everybody thought he was a tiny little guy going to go in there and get handled, but he brought that weight up. Looked good. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that Patty the Batty Jared Gordon fight again because I remember everybody being uproar about that fight. And I think that was the one fight I had missed at that time. Jared Gordon, everybody said he won. Yeah, I gotta go back and look at that one. Now I want to see it. Chen said Charles going to KO Islam. Charles Oliveira. My man Charles, is that who you talk about? Man, Charles Oliveira. I was picking him to win. I rock with him, but mm. Yeah, James, that's crazy. Yeah, he's got a lot of respect for this win. And yeah, he's been undefeated for a minute. Hold on 1 second here. All right. Okay, so about time to wrap this one up. Been about 2 hours again, so I don't have nowhere to be right now. So I was just killing some time with y'all. James Press said people just respecting everything about him right now, and I don't blame him. Right. Okay. So let's see. Aside from Andrade Blanchfield, who on this card do y'all want to see? There are a lot of cancellations on this one coming up too. Yeah, I'm looking at this card and I don't really think it's going to be like unless everybody gets finished. I don't think this is going to be card everybody's looking forward to. Just kind of looking through some of the names here. It's going to have to be an explosive card where everybody's just getting finished. But yeah, this UAE coming up this weekend. What is that? UAE 38. Check that fight out. I gotta keep that one stamped. 30 UAE 36. Dang, it's a 9 in the morning over here. Yeah, UAE card. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Landsberg, Silva. I'll watch it. But yeah, I'm not crazy about it. Yeah, Kevin said the big fireworks will be 285. Yeah, 285. Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing a fight companion for that card. Yeah, I'll be over here doing a fight companion for that one. Because they got a lot of good fights on that one. I want to see what Bo Nickel gonna do, taking on Jamie Pickett. I want to see that fight. I do want to see Jeff Neal make his return. I wanted to see Nunez Aldana on this card, but whatever. So now let's see what Grasso can do, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that card. I'll be on this doing a fight companion for that one. But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Good talk. As always. I think I'm gonna go play some games now. Kind of hungry too. So make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. Josh said when Mastercard said it was robbery. Mark said I'm picking which fight I want to watch. I want to watch with this car, like picking out the marshmallows out of a Lucky Charms box, right? Yeah. The main event is the big marshmallow. That's the big one I think we all looking for, right? But yeah, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe. Peace.